Hello and welcome back to the channel. It seems like we got lucky and picked the perfect year to establish the orchard. Only one single time when the trees were brand new did I have to water. Other than that, it's been such a rainy and wet year that everything has pretty much been on autopilot. Nonetheless, there's some regular maintenance and prep work to be done, and there will be further maintenance and prep work going into the winter. One of those things is trying to keep the weeds around the trees down so that they don't compete with the tree for nutrients. I have a little hand tool with a serrated blade that does a decent job. Also, I'm working on staking the trees to make sure that the trunks grow as vertical and straight as possible. I had previously done kind of a haphazard attempt, so now I'm going back to fix it. I have string and pieces of an old garden hose that protect the bark of the tree from chafing as it moves in the wind. The fence posts provide convenient anchors to tie the string off on, but all the string makes the mowing of the orchard harder later on. And something is eating my apples. It's only one variety that's affected, the Lodi apple, and I believe it's probably birds. Almost all trees are doing well and some are even thriving, but in particular this one cherry tree got annihilated and completely defoliated by Japanese beetles. I have traps up now, but hopefully the tree has enough energy left to make it through the winter. Another thing that I'm trying to do while the trees are still young is establishing a proper shape. I've done a bit of reading on the subject, but have no lived experience, so I'm just trying things out. Supposedly, branch angles of 60 degrees or greater to the vertical make for better fruit production and better light and air penetration into the canopy, which overall makes the tree healthier. I'm using gallon jugs with water as weights, and the same technique with string and garden hose that you just saw in order to pull some of the branches further to the ground. I have no idea how long it will take for the tree to keep this shape and whether or not I can keep the water jugs out throughout the winter. And then of course, there's mowing. We're trying to keep the area between the orchard and the house open as an access road, so it needs to be mowed often enough to prevent woody plants and shrubs from springing up. Same thing goes for the orchard itself. As mentioned earlier, all of the strings make it quite challenging to follow any sort of pattern when mowing the orchard, so it looks erratic and crazy. And here's the end result. It's still far away from the pasture that I would like to eventually establish underneath the trees, but it's much better than last year when it was just a dusty mess. Speaking of mowing, as I'm getting the tractor out to collect and dispose of my wood ash, I first move a couple of big rocks that have been getting in the way of my mowing. I collect them in the usual spot, and hopefully I will use them to build further stone walls in the future. Still, I have not repaired the flat tire on the tractor, so every time I use it, the first stop is to the compressor to fill it with air. And finally, I get to something that has been long overdue, which is removing the wood ashes that have collected from the wood boiler over the winter and disposing of them. I'm wearing a respirator in order to not breathe in the fine particulate matter. I decide a good spot to dump the ashes is the access road in front of the orchard. The wood ash has the potential to significantly increase the pH value of the soil, which makes it difficult for some plants to survive. However, as this is planned to always remain an access road, I don't care so much if there's some bare spots. I use a scraping tool to scrape the inside of the firebox. Not only is it late in the year to still be doing this, but this also falls far short of the lengths that some people go to when shutting these units down for the summer. And this is the end result. As mentioned, not great, but we gotta leave some room for improvement for future years. And then of course, there's all the other stuff outside of projects. And this happened. We had a grease fire in our kitchen, but thankfully also had a fire extinguisher. We had always planned to renovate the kitchen at some point. We might now be forced to pull the plan ahead. However, we didn't let that deter us from celebrating our 5-year wedding anniversary. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.